Removing all friction in your life will completely change it. If you don't know me, my name is Jaden Leilua. This is my daily updates channel. How these videos are going to go is I'm going to provide some sort of value. So, for example, today we're going to be talking about friction and how removing friction from your life will actually improve your life. And then we're going to go into some planning and strategizing that I'm doing behind the scenes for my cold email agency. And then we're going to be tracking my growth across, Instagram, YouTube, and then my personal. So these are my current goals right now. 5K on Instagram, 300 YouTube subs, and 300 subs on this channel. Okay. And I'll go into how I plan on doing that in a second, but just jumping right into it. The reason why friction, removing it, will actually change your life is first we have to understand what friction is. So I'm going to give an example. Okay. Say we have two guys, for example. Okay. Excuse my terrible drawings, but this is guy A and this is guy B. Okay. Now, this is the best example that I could do for friction specifically because this will help you really understand what friction is. So we have guy A and then guy B. This is a B, by the way. Okay. So guy A and guy B. Now, let's say this guy, both of their goals is to, start hitting the gym consistently, right? Because they either want to lose weight or they want to build muscle. Well, guy A, his gym is 20 minutes away. Okay. So in order for him to go to the gym, he has to basically drive 20 minutes. Okay. But this guy has a gym in his apartment. So let's say 1 minute to get to the gym. Okay. Now, who out of these guys do you think will most likely stick to that goal and achieve their goal, right? Well, it's pretty straightforward. This guy's friction points, right? Because he doesn't have any friction. It's 1 minute to get to the gym. This guy's probably going to hit the gym a lot more rather than this guy who has the 20-minute drive. Now, the reason why this explains friction is because getting in the car, driving, stopping at stoplights, so on and so forth, this is all friction, right? And we want to eliminate friction as fast as possible to be able to hit our goals. Now, the reason why this matters so much is because when you remove all friction and you make it as easy as possible to get to your goals, how likely would it be to make sure that you stick to your goals and actually achieve them, right? This is why removing friction is so important. I can give another example here as well. Say, for me, for example, I want to start recording YouTube videos, right? But every time I record a YouTube video, my mic starts bugging out. I have to re-record it. Okay. Now, a fix for that would simply just be buying a better microphone, right? And that would remove all friction points and that would make me likely to record videos because now I don't have to record them 5 times because I actually have a good mic. Okay. Hopefully you understand, the concept of friction, right? Say you want to be taking your vitamins every single night, right? And before you go to sleep, you lay down in bed, you're like, damn it, I forgot to take my vitamins. Okay. How would you remove the friction points for that? Well, it's pretty simple. If you remember every single time that you forgot to take your vitamins while you're in bed, then you just simply add them on your nightstand right here. Okay. This is your little vitamin bottle. And now when you are sleeping in bed, all you have to do is just grab them. So how likely is it that you're going to stay consistent with grabbing your vitamins every single night? Well, it's pretty high, right? Because it's, on your nightstand. The friction point was you were in bed, you were all cozy. Now you forgot to take your vitamins. You have to walk up in the kitchen. It's just too much friction. Okay. This is why removing all friction points in your life will, consistently change it, and you will be able to actually stick to your goals and, most importantly, achieve your goals. Friction points in your life, we can do, a little test right now. It can be literally anything. If you really sit down and think what goals that you want to achieve, what is in between you and those goals, and you want to make it as easy as possible for you to actually hit these goals. Now, if you go over here, right, this is probably one of the most important topics because this guy, it's 20 minutes to get to the gym. This guy, it's 1 minute. So hopefully you get the point on friction and how removing it will completely change your life. I've actually removed a lot of friction before. Before, I used to be fat. I was actually this guy. Gym was 20 minutes away. I moved into an apartment to, remove all friction, and now I have a gym in my apartment. I wake up, I go down the elevator, 1 minute to get to the gym. Okay, so I'm hitting the gym 7 days a week, but if it was 20 minutes away, I probably wouldn't go 7 days a week, right? And that's why removing all friction will completely change your life. So hopefully that helped you gauge, and you could do a test here as well, listing all the friction points. That doesn't mean you have to solve them, because subconsciously what we do in our mind is we know friction points are there, but we don't want to solve them because we don't want to do the thing, right? So make sure you're not one of those people, and you list out all your friction points honestly, and then you can go in and make a chart to remove all those friction points, right? So let's say, friction point A, friction point B, friction point C, friction point D. And then we could have another column here. My bad. And then we could have another column here basically listing out, okay, what would it cost to remove these friction points? Or this column could be, how much friction is each of these friction points, right? If it only takes 5 extra minutes, what if this one takes 20 extra minutes and then this one takes, 30 extra minutes, right? Well, these will be, on priority to remove. And then you can have another column right here. How could we remove these friction points? And then lastly, how much would it cost to remove these friction points? And this is honestly something that you don't have to spend, a ton of money on. But it's just optimizing your lifestyle in a point where you can actually achieve your goals. So hopefully that helped you, remove friction. Now we're going to go to some planning and strategizing that I've personally been doing for, my cold email agency. And if you run an agency or if you want to start a business, maybe you can kind of find this useful. So in the age of AI, right, there's so many things that we can ultimately do. For example, I just made this entire NAN workflow when I onboarded a client, when I signed a client. Now it takes me an hour to fully onboard them. Right? I have to send them a bunch of links, send the welcome email myself. It would take around 45 minutes to an hour. Now, in my CRM, all I have to do is drag a deal to deal closed, and then it goes through this entire NAN workflow where it basically sends them a welcome email. I have one in my email somewhere here. Let's pull it up for you guys so you guys can see. So it'll send 3 different emails. Okay, so it'll send a welcome email, say, hey, first name, officially excited to have you on board. The deal sign, so let's book you, let's set up your onboarding basically. So they have to fill out this onboarding form. They book their kickoff call, they join the private Slack channel, and then they set up their bi-weekly check-ins on their calendar. So instead of me having to do all this, it's literally automated. And this just comes back down to the friction points that we were talking about, right? It was so much friction for me to onboard a client. When I was supposed to be excited about onboarding a client, I would, kind of delay it a little bit, but now it's just fully automated, right? So that's a friction point that I removed, and that comes down to planning and strategizing. Now, my goals are simple, right? I want to hit 5K by the end of August on Instagram. It is currently August 2nd. I want 300 YouTube subs on my business channel, which is where I go over all my cold email stuff, and then 300 YouTube subs on this channel. Now, how I'm going to do that is I'm removing all friction points, right? It just comes down to friction points. Well, how do I, maximize my post potential on Instagram, right? Well, it has to come down to ideas. That's like the one thing that's stopping most people from recording Instagram Reels. So my plan is to, set up a, talk to Claude or your AI of choice and just brain dump. And then you can download a skill to basically help you strategize and push out content, right? Because the goal is just volume, at least from what I heard from actually growing my Instagram. So that's my plan on growing my Instagram. Same exact thing for YouTube. Same exact thing for this channel, right? I'm going to be posting these updates every single day. And hopefully, if I do enough volume, Alex Hormozi, volume negates luck. So it just simply comes down to volume, and that's my plan moving forward. Now, tracking my growth, we will start with my business channel. So I am currently at 182 subscribers. Let me see if I could pull this up real quick. Nope, that is the wrong one. I'm currently at 182 subscribers. What button was it? I don't know. I have a drawing thing that I can't remember how to pull it up. But anyways, so I'm at 182 subscribers currently. I think yesterday I was at 178. I just posted this video right now. And if you go over to my other channel here, I didn't gain a single subscriber. But that's all it's about. It's about, constantly putting out volume, and I'm obviously documenting my journey, right? Video I posted yesterday, 1 day ago, has 8 views right now. I have 120 subscribers on this channel, and then if we go to my Instagram, I am currently at 2,820 followers. So I actually seen some pretty decent growth over the past 24 hours. Yesterday, if you watched that video, I was actually at 2,750, I want to say. So I almost gained almost 100 followers within the past 24 hours. So that's pretty cool to see. But that's the current growth that I'm at right now. And yeah, remove all friction points from your life, and your life will completely change. Like I said, my name is Jaden Leilua. If you like these videos, click subscribe. These videos are going to change a lot once I actually start getting traction. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll start the next video off with replying to all the comments. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.